Hello, Trophy Club. So for our last episode of Coexisting with Wildlife, we're going to have an extended episode as we dive into the world of snakes. Trophy Club is no stranger to many, many species of snakes that you might find on your property. Why do we have snakes around? They eat bugs, they eat rodents, they eat many things that we don't like. So to a degree, they're very, very beneficial. And only about 5% of our Trophy Club snakes are venomous that we need to worry about. So let's check some things out. Have you ever found something like this on your property? It is a snake skin. A fun fact about snakes, their skin does not grow with them. So usually about once, sometimes twice a month, depending on how much they eat, they have to shed their skin on a regular basis. Now from a skin, we can't decipher species, but I can tell you that copperheads only get 3 feet long. So if you look at this, we know this is not a copperhead skin. This was found on the back porch of a resident. They have the woods backed right up to them. So could be a rat snake, could be a bull snake, but we know it's not a venomous snake. So for the remainder of this video, we're going to dive into other species that I have captured over the past several weeks. We're going to find out why they were, where they were. Let's find out why snakes are attracted to our properties, things that we can do to help deter, and just learn more about these fascinating creatures that so many people fear. We're going to start off small and work our way up. This is the yellow-bellied racer snake. He's a common cousin to our garter snakes, earth snakes, things you might see around your property. They're very small, not even 1.5 feet long at the most. They eat thousands of insects every year. He's struck there, he's threatened. He has a big round pupil, which tells me he's a non-venomous snake. We'll talk more about that. Look at his tongue, he's smelling with his tongue. And then here he's vibrating his tail, just like rattlesnakes do. But he's not a rattlesnake. Guess what? All snakes will do this when they feel threatened. Our next one we're going to look at is our most common snake that I find in our area, the Texas rat snake. They are excellent at mimicry, meaning that they will vibrate that tail. They will flatten out their head like a poisonous snake. They can get up to 6 feet long, not very big around. They have a white underbelly. They can be aggressive. They will bite you if they get cornered. But here, look at the body, the pattern on his body. They're a dark brown background color with a pattern on top that can be orange to yellow to copper, depending on the season that they're in. They eat hundreds of rats and mice. Now let's get into water snakes. You know, here in Trophy Club, we have ponds, we have creeks, we have the lake. Not uncommon, we find many, many water snakes. This is a blotched water snake. Many people will see this crossing a pond and think it's a water moccasin. It is harmless, but they can be very aggressive. Note the yellow underneath, the yellow belly, unlike the rat snake. They will bite. Their main diet are fish and frogs. They're a short snake, but they're very thick in body. They can get very heavy. And again, this is a blotched water snake, noted for the blotched pattern that you might see on top. More of an olive green background color. If we look at his head, you see his pupil. It's a nice round pupil, which means non-venomous. Eyes like mine, a snake is fine. Eyes like a cat, you better step on back. That's the rhyme that we come up with when dealing with snakes. And here we're going to release him out of Grapevine Lake. And as soon as he knows the coast is clear, away he will disappear. Our next water snake is the Diamondback water snake. Now this is a juvenile, a baby. But even as an adult, he will look like this. Notice a checkered pattern on top of his body. They, again, non-venomous, but they can be aggressive. Again, his diet, fish, frogs, toads. So if you have a pond, if you have a elaborate flower bed, a lot of moisture that might attract in toads and things, you might have these snakes. Next up, we're going to look at our venomous snakes. Around here, our most common one is the copperhead or the Texas copperhead. Only about 3 to 5 a year, though, I find, opposed to all the non-venomous snakes. They're a very short snake. Adults only get about 3 feet long. They are very docile. They're not very aggressive. They like to live around wood piles, dry leaves, thick flower beds with cover. They are excellent in camouflage. We're going to take a look at his body here, and you can see why. People are usually bitten by these guys accidentally because they're working in their flower bed. I always advise, have gloves on when you're doing anything in your flower beds. Now, if you look, he's struck and he has bitten me through, but he can't get through my Kevlar glove. But as you can see, the fang embedded in my glove. The way these snakes kill their prey, which are rats and mice, is they will strike, inject venom, and wait for their prey to die. The thing about venomous snakes, the babies are actually more dangerous because they inject more venom. They don't have control over their venom sacs as adults do. So younger ones are actually more dangerous. Notice the eye. It is a straight up and down pupil, not like that round eye that we saw with all of our good snakes. That is something to watch out for, and people will say, I don't want to get that close. Well, if you have a zoom on a cell phone, you can zoom into that snake's eye, and at least you will know whether it's venomous or non-venomous. That goes for all North American species. Now, last up is a snake that I didn't capture, but we do have them in our area. This is the cottonmouth, or as some folks call them, a water moccasin. Notice how dark color they are. The pattern is very mottled, a very vague pattern. The back is always that black to a very dark brown. When they're coiled like this, they are ready for action. Most of the time, they will open that mouth to reveal that white, a bright white. Many people call it a blinding white, hence the name cottonmouth. These snakes are very aggressive, and they have been known to actually chase people when they get threatened. All right, to round out our snake videos, Rocky, my ball python, and I want to talk about what happens if you get bit by a snake. So with any animal, snakes are no different. Bacteria in their mouths. You want to do your first aid. Warm water, soap, clean your wound. Even a rat snake can make a laceration in your skin. If the bite is extremely painful and you never saw the snake that bit you, it could have been a venomous snake. Call 911, seek medical help immediately. With that, let's talk a little bit about Rocky. He is a ball python. They exist in South and Central America. He's been a partner of mine now for about 15 years. He's a good guy. The Trophy Club, it's time to close out this Coexisting with Wildlife series. Rocky and I hope that you have enjoyed all the videos that I've been putting out there. I hope we've learned some things about the wildlife around us. We've talked about why they may be coming onto our properties. We talked about some deterrent methods. We talked about the foods and things that they eat. So I hope it has been very educational for you, as it has been so much fun for me. For the last time, this is Brian the Animal Guy signing off. And if we come across something really unusual and neat to show, we'll have a snippet every now and then. Look forward to seeing you then. Take care.